So let's talk about the future, because we're standing right on the edge of a technological shift that's going to be as big, if not bigger, than the Industrial Revolution. Today, we're going to break down a pretty ambitious proposal from OpenAI about how we might navigate this coming age of superintelligence.
First things first, let's get on the same page about the core idea here, superintelligence. And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi dream anymore. We're talking about the point, and it's coming, where AI systems can literally outthink the smartest people on the planet with or without our help. So forget about just getting faster search results or better photo editing. Think about AI tackling problems in a few days that would take our best teams of experts, months or even years to crack. That's the sheer scale of the change we're looking at, and it comes with both incredible upside and some really serious risks.
And you've really got this fork in the road, right? On one side, it's this amazing, almost utopian vision of scientific breakthroughs we can barely imagine and whole new ways to be creative. But then you look down the other path, and it's pretty scary. We're talking massive job disruption, powerful tech in the wrong hands, and a dangerous concentration of wealth and power. With stakes that high, you have to ask, are the rules we have now even built for this? The argument here is that our whole social contract, the very foundation of our society, might just not be ready for the shock to the system that's coming.
But here's the thing. We've been there before. Humanity has faced massive, world-changing disruptions in the past, and the argument is that history actually gives us a playbook for how to handle it. You can see the parallel, right? The Industrial Revolution happens, completely changing the economy, and then comes the Progressive Era and the New Deal to manage it. Now we're entering the intelligence age. So what's our new deal? Well, this proposal breaks it down into two huge pillars. All right, pillar one, this is all about the economy, about prosperity. How do we make absolutely sure that the incredible wealth and opportunity from AI doesn't just end up in the pockets of a tiny few, but is actually shared across all of society? And they're not thinking small here. The proposal throws out some really big, ambitious ideas. We're talking about giving workers a real seat at the table during this transition, establishing a fundamental right to AI for everyone, and even modernizing how we tax things, shifting more from labor to capital. Let's zoom in on one of the most interesting ideas here, this public wealth fund. Imagine a system where every single citizen gets a direct piece of the economic pie that AI bakes. Not just the big investors, not just the tech founders, but everybody.
This is also about making our safety net smarter. Think of it less like a fixed, static wall and more like a smart, adaptive shield. It would use real-time data to see when and where help is needed, automatically spin up support when a disruption hits, and then dial it back as things get stable again. Okay, so we've talked about the economy, but what about control? What about safety? Pillar 2 tackles the really big question. How do we make sure these incredibly powerful systems stay on our team, aligned with our values and, under our control? It's all about making society more resilient. This means building a whole new kind of safety infrastructure. We're talking about things like independent audits for the most powerful AI models, crystal clear rules for how governments can use this tech, and even mandatory reporting for near misses, catching problems before they become full-blown disasters. But that leads to a really chilling question, doesn't it? What if one of these things gets out? What if a dangerous AI is released into the wild and you can't just flip a switch to turn it off? Then the problem isn't prevention anymore, it's containment. And that's where these model containment playbooks come in. The idea is to have a plan before you need it. Just like we have emergency response plans for pandemics or massive cyber attacks, we'd have a coordinated, ready-to-go plan for a rogue AI. Now, here's an interesting twist. While we worry about governments misusing AI, there's a potential upside here. Every time a government agency uses AI, it creates a digital trail. And that trail could be a really powerful tool for transparency, making it easier than ever to hold our institutions accountable. So it's really crucial to understand that none of this is set in stone. This document isn't a rule book. Think of it as the first chapter in a global conversation, a set of big ideas put on the table to be discussed, debated, and hopefully improved. And to get that conversation started, OpenAI isn't just waiting around. They're actively asking for feedback, offering up research grants, and putting together workshops and talks to get people, talking. And that really brings us to the final and most important point. This isn't some future problem we can kick down the road. The transition is happening right now. So the real question is for all of us, what kind of future are we going to choose to build with this technology? The choices we make today are going to define the world for generations to come.